Picture Lionel Messi standing in the middle of the pitch at MetLife Stadium, blue and white shirt untucked, eyes fixed on nothing, while the sky above him is exploding red and yellow. Spain has just been crowned world champions. Ferran Torres, extra time, 106th minute. The Argentine bench is frozen, and a few feet behind Messi, something else is happening. Nahuel Molina is walking straight at Rodri, not toward a hug, not toward a shirt swap, not toward the cameras. His fist is already half closed. Leandro Paredes is grabbing Eric Garcia by the throat. Gavi is on the ground. And on the touchline, Argentina's own assistant coach, Roberto Ayala, is throwing a shove into Dani Olmo's chest. The world watched Spain lift the trophy, but almost nobody in that first raw minute noticed the punches. FIFA did, and now FIFA is watching all of it back, frame by frame, inside a locked committee room in Zurich. That is FIFA's worst nightmare, 5 days after the biggest final in a generation. Because the story is no longer Spain's second star, the story is a disciplinary case that has quietly, seriously, dangerously grown teeth. The question that started as a rumor in the Buenos Aires press has now landed inside FIFA's own building. Could this trophy actually be taken back? Could this final be voided? Could the reigning champions of the world be stripped of a title they won on the pitch? Sounds insane. Sounds impossible. Then you open FIFA's own rulebook and you stop laughing. So let us go through exactly what happened, because this one is bad. Start with the facts. Sunday, July 19th, 2026. MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. Spain versus Argentina. The final of the first ever 48-team World Cup. The Slovenian referee, Slavko Vincic, pronounced Vincic, was in charge. In the 82nd minute, Vincic showed Enzo Fernandez a yellow card for screaming at him over a foul that was not given. Then, in the 93rd minute stoppage time at the end of regulation, Fernandez went in hard on Pau Cubarsí. Second yellow, red, Argentina down to 10 men. Extra time, 106th minute, Ferran Torres finishes off a Marc Cucurella pullback at the back post. Spain 1, Argentina 0. The whistle goes, and the pitch turns. Otamendi walks straight up to Rodri and, according to the Spanish outlet Marca, tells him to start talking less. Molina swings at Rodri's stomach. Paredes grabs Eric Garcia by the throat with an open right hand. Gavi is shoved to the floor. And Ayala, the assistant coach, wades in from the bench and puts hands on Dani Olmo. And then everyone waited for FIFA's statement. FIFA released it on Monday. One paragraph. Cold. Careful. The FIFA Disciplinary Committee has appointed a disciplinary and ethics prosecutor to assess what happened after the final whistle. That is the official version. And here is what actually happened. In the middle of the noise, Argentine television broadcast that Paredes had been shown a straight red card. Every outlet on earth ran with it. Then quietly, the card was deleted from the official match report. FIFA later clarified there was no red card. Paredes actually received only a yellow. It was a glitch inside FIFA's own commentator information system. A World Cup final, a phantom red card, a silent correction. That is not a mistake. That is a symptom. It is a note from FIFA excusing FIFA. Because with no red card recorded, there is no automatic 3-match suspension under the disciplinary code. Ayala publicly apologized 2 days later. He told Valencia Capital Radio, and I quote, "It was more of a shove than a punch. It was a reaction to a remark." That is the only on-the-record quote from an Argentine coaching staff member in the entire affair. Everything else has been silence. So let us zoom out, because this is not one bad night in isolation. This is Argentina's second FIFA file in 10 days. Rewind to the semifinal in Atlanta. Argentina beat England 2-1. During the celebrations, midfielders Giovanni Lo Celso and Lisandro Martinez unfurled a banner reading, "Las Malvinas son Argentinas." The Falklands are Argentine. The UK government publicly asked FIFA to investigate. Within 24 hours, a second file was open. Then the final, then the brawl, then the phantom red card, brick after brick after brick, all in 10 days. All building the same wall, the wall that says FIFA cannot keep control of its own showpiece. And that is the real story, here. Not whether Spain deserved the winning goal, not whether Cucurella fouled Molina in the buildup, but whether the World Cup final, the biggest single match on planet Earth, ended with players choking each other and an assistant coach throwing hands in front of a global audience, and FIFA had no plan for it. So the pressure is now on Gianni Infantino to prove FIFA still has teeth, and he does not want the world to hear him bite down. Stack it up. Read it slowly. Watch this. Leandro Paredes, throat grab on Eric Garcia, phantom red card deleted, now facing a retrospective disciplinary hearing. Nahuel Molina, alleged punch to Rodri, retrospective video review underway, potential multi-match ban. Roberto Ayala, Argentina assistant coach, hands on Dani Olmo, public apology already issued, still under FIFA review. Nicolas Otamendi, verbal confrontation with Rodri, cited in the prosecutor's file. Enzo Fernandez, second yellow in stoppage time for a foul on Cubarsi. Automatic one-match suspension already applied. Giovanni Lo Celso and Lisandro Martinez, Malvinas banner in Atlanta, separate open file for political statement. The Argentine Football Association, facing a collective sanction for repeated failure to control players and staff across 2 matches. And here is the line nobody in Buenos Aires wants to read out loud. FIFA is not just investigating one final, it is now investigating a pattern. 2 files, 10 days, 1 country. The prosecutor is working under Article 36 of the Disciplinary Code, the article that opens formal proceedings, and the range of possible sanctions goes from fines to individual bans, all the way up to federation-level punishment. In writing, in black ink, that is the pile. Let me be fair for a second, because this channel does not deal in fantasy. Nobody at FIFA, not one lawyer, not one committee member, has publicly said the word annulment. The trophy is not being physically taken back next week. Spain are the world champions. That is settled on the pitch and settled in the record book. Ayala himself called it a shove, not a punch. Paredes was not officially sent off. The overwhelming likely outcome is retrospective bans for a handful of players, a fine for the AFA, a separate ruling on the Malvinas banner, and a very stern press release from Zurich. Ferran Torres is not handing his medal back. La Roja are not being asked to hand over the cup. The idea of stripping a country of a World Cup they won on the pitch is, in practical terms, almost unthinkable in modern football history. Almost. But that is exactly what makes it dangerous instead of routine. Because the mere fact that FIFA opened formal proceedings under Article 36 on the same country twice inside 10 days means the conversation is now legally alive. And once a rulebook conversation is alive, in a sport with this much money and this much television and this much political weight, it does not die quietly. The dam broke on Sunday night, and nobody at FIFA has any idea where the water stops. So here is where you come in. Was this just a heated final that boiled over the way finals sometimes do, an emotional loss for a proud country? Nothing more. Or was this the moment FIFA finally has to decide if its own rulebook actually means anything at the very top of the sport? And if you had to pick a side tonight, are you with Spain, world champions, no debate, close the file, move on? Or with Argentina, provoked, punished, and about to lose staff and players before the next cycle even begins? Tell me below. Drop it in the comments. A like genuinely helps more than you would think. Subscribe if you want World Cup coverage that reads the rulebook so you do not have to. Because football at this scale is never just a tournament. It is a moment in time. And this moment, 5 days on, is very far from finished. The trophy is in Madrid tonight. The story is not.